Welcome, my friends, to my media museum. This is part 2 of my recent editions, April 24th, 2024. And we got a really great one here that I'm really thrilled to death to add to my collection. And it's a band named Crow, which you may not be familiar with. But the song is Evil Woman, that Black Sabbath did a cover version of. It was on the UK edition of the first album, released in February of 1970. But when they brought it over to the US to release it here, they replaced this song with Wicked World, which was the B-side of the Black Sabbath's 45 of Evil Woman. And it wasn't released in the United States until the Symptom of the Universe compilation in 2002. So for a considerable amount of time, Black Sabbath's version of Evil Woman was not available here in the States unless you bought an import copy of either the album or the single from the UK. But Evil Woman, don't you play your games with me. Yeah, it's a good song. And I actually bought it I bought the Ozzy Osbourne years box set, Black Sabbath. Can't remember what year that came out, but it was a UK import, and I bought it just to get that song, to hear that song, not having known anything about it at that point in time. So to get the original version from the original band on a 45 in such great condition, thrilled to death, couldn't be happier. B-side being a song called Gonna Leave a Mark. I got no story about that or know anything about it, but what a beautiful piece of vinyl this is, and what a great piece of metal history. And it's in a nice, interesting sleeve. It doesn't match, of course, the vinyl doesn't match the sleeve. That's common practice because people have these things loaded up in their jukeboxes, and when they go to take stuff out of the jukeboxes, they don't necessarily always match them up. Last episode, we had Foghat doing Slow Ride, and this time we've got the Edgar Winter Group doing Free Ride. So, come on and take a free ride. Yeah, I know I've had Frankenstein, and I've shared that one previously in the past, but I couldn't remember if I had Free Ride or not. But it's such a great song, I was more than happy to pick up such a clean-looking copy of it again. B-side being When It Comes. And that's if I do have a copy of it, because I didn't remember if I did or not. So I don't mind paying $1 or $2 for such a nice, good, clean copy. Even if it turns out to be a duplicate, it may be better than the copy that I have in the collection already. So, or the labels could be slightly different, whatever reasons. But yeah, I don't get all tore up about buying duplicates sometimes if they're reasonably priced. Just like this one here, I may have a copy of Photograph. I think I might even have a picture sleeve. But when I seen it there and I saw how beautiful it looked, how clean it was, I just had to buy it again. Or pick it up, take a chance that I didn't own it already. But B-side being Action, Not Words. Give me action. But all I got is a photograph. Well, I'm almost singing the Ringo Starr song there, but photograph, I don't need your love, something like that. You know the song. I'm doing a terrible job of murdering it here. But it was a very well-known song off of Pyromania, which was a really great album, the third Def Leppard album. They had On Through the Night, High and Dry, and then Pyromania. And then they hit it really big with Hysteria. But yes, this was a really great song and a really clean looking platter. And then this one, I'm not sure. I'm a big BTO fan. I got a lot of Bachman Turner Overdrive. I'm pretty positive I already had You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet off of the Not Fragile album, which I've spoken about before, being a huge fan of Bachman Turner Overdrive, and especially the Not Fragile album being my favorite album of theirs. So I'm pretty positive I had this one. But again, so clean, such a good looking copy. Even though somebody's got catalog numbers they tagged on there that, you know, are super glued on and ain't coming off without damaging the label. B-side being a song called Freewheelin', which is a instrumental. There's no vocals on that, but really, really great piece of plastic to have. And next up, we got another one. And this one I wasn't sure if I had or not. So I was, the other one I'm pretty positive I got, You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. But Hey You, you say you, yeah. And the B-side being one of my favorite Bachman Turner Overdrive songs, Flat Broke Love. Now, Four Wheel Drive wasn't one of their best albums, but Flat Broke Love sure was a great song. And I believe Hey You was also from Four Wheel Drive, yes. So next up, here's another one that I was really happy to acquire, even though the label's really hard to see, hard to look at. And whoever this person was that cataloged all their 45s with those stickers like that, they ain't coming off. They had them marked for good. So, but anyways, we got Joe Walsh here from 1973. Out in the Meadows. Very, very good song of his. And, you know, I've got a bajillion copies of his Life's Been Good. And I'm pretty positive I don't have a copy of Meadows. So, B-side being Bookends. So, I was more than happy to get this nice, clean-looking copy to add to the collection. Yeah, you can see it a lot better if we get it in the light just a little bit differently. That's silver on black. Sometimes it's really hard to film. And here's another one that I'm fairly certain I didn't have. And what a great song to have. Hocus Pocus by Focus. Na 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 na. It's got some really weird vocals. It's kind of a novelty song. And I'm trying to think of the guy that did the remake on guitar, the instrumental. Oh, yeah. I should know this, and it should be popping in my head. If you know it, put it down in the comments section, because I'd love to share that information with everybody. But rather than sit here trying to dwell on it and come up with it, we'll move on. And the B-side being Hocus Pocus 2, which is basically more the same, I do believe. But, yeah, great song. 1973, really great instrumental track to have to add to the collection. So when I seen this one, it was definitely a score. Yeah. All right, next up, we got a Beach Boy one. And I do know that I have this, but I do also know that I've got it on the standard Capitol label. This is a reissue. I knew it was a reissue, but I wanted to buy it anyways just to get that different label and to get such a nice, clean-looking copy of it. B-side, the song called Don't Worry Baby. And it is the exact same B-side. It was on the original edition, so this is just a reprint. I'm not sure if it was at a later year, probably was. A lot of the Beach Boys got numerous printings and releases over the years. But I get around, round, 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 round. Round, round, get around, I get around. All right, and now this one I also believe that I have a copy of. But this is the original Track Records edition of it. So I don't think I had that. Probably hard to see, but it's Golden Earrings, Radar Love. I got a thing that's called the Radar Love. Probably the best song they ever did, in my opinion. They had a couple other ones, Twilight Zone and a few others, but that was definitely one of my favorite ones, was Radar Love. And just like Vince Taylor, I have no idea who Vince Taylor is or what they're talking about there. Now, we got some stacker wear on this. You can see that it's definitely been on a stacker a few times, because we got the spin rubbing the label off. But still, the vinyl itself's in really good shape, and it's an original, so it was worth the money for me to go ahead and pick that one up again. So, Gary Hoey is the one that did Hocus Pocus. Yeah, see, brain sometimes takes a little while to catch up. But Gary did a lot of really great instrumental work, and he's kind of like a Joe Satriani, just about a decade and a half earlier. But if you like that kind of stuff. He did a really great cover version of the Peanuts, Lucy and Linus. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, imagine that on a rockin' riffing guitar. Really, really great. So, anyways, here we've got Man for Man doing Blinded by the Light, and this again, I'm pretty positive I had a copy of. And, not being a Bruce Springsteen fan, this is still a really great song, and I really enjoyed Man for Man's Earth Band's cover version of it. Some people think they did it originally, but no, Bruce actually did it on one of his albums before Man for Man did it. But Man for Man made it a big hit, and their version is considerably different from his. So, B-side being Starbird number 2. Yeah, they definitely made it their own, and in my opinion, they did the definitive version of it, even if they weren't the ones who wrote it. So, next up, I've got 2 versions of T-Rex's Bang a Gong to show you. Now, I know I had this on a 45, and I've probably shared it previously, but since I had 2 different ones here or there, it was an opportunity to show that and share that with you. So here we've got the Reprise Records, United States release, Bang a Gong, Get It On. And the B-side was a song called Raw Ramp, which I believe was the original B-side to that single when it originally came out. But in the same stack, right next to it, we had the Canadian release from Underground Records. You can see manufactured in Canada. T-Rex, Get It On, Bang a Gong. And it's the exact same, 4 minutes, 25 seconds, so nothing really different about it except the B-side. The B-side is Ride a White Swan, which I believe was off the same album. And just to be certain, because I got to really talking in the first episode, the Rambling Man, when I was telling you my family story there, I'm not positive I showed you the B-side of that. Let's pull it out sleeve and get us a good shot of it. There's the B-side of Pony Boy being on the B-side of that, just to make sure we covered that. Because like I said, I got to rambling on, talking about my family story with Rambling Man. So, hope you enjoyed that second episode. I got enough to make maybe one more, and that'll wrap it up. Have a great day.